how do you get along with people you don't like?
That's a good question. How do you do that?
Come find out on the next Dare to Be Better with
Ray and Sid.
Toodles.
In 3, 2, welcome back, kids, to another episode of Dare to Be Better. And who are we?
Ray and Sid.
Which one am I?
You're Sid and I'm Ray.
I'm Sid and you're Ray. Excellent. You know, we're going to confuse people because you could be a Ray. We did this week 1. Get some new material, kids. This is not funny anymore. It wasn't funny 8 weeks ago. It's not funny this week. But we're back in New York. Welcome back.
Gosh.
Welcome back.
I don't know. I feel a little loopy.
And was it a long flight?
Yes, it was well, it wasn't that bad. I watched a really good movie. I don't know what it's called. I just poke on things, but the
She just pokes on things.
Yeah, but the landing, it was like we just fell out of the sky and the guy went boom and
skipping.
It was horrible.
Really?
Yeah, I even sent out a little like shriek or something. Is that what it's called?
A shriek?
I don't know.
A yelp?
Oh, it was just terrible. Terrible. And then I had a girl sitting next to me, a sweet girl. I don't say anymore, that's all.
Sweet girl.
Doesn't matter.
I flew in back to New York on Monday, and I actually had a very, very pleasant flight both ways. Yeah, just needed a couple of days in Fort Lauderdale just to chill. Yeah, it was
good for you.
Nice. But yeah, no horror stories with flights, no kids kicking my seats.
See, that's lovely.
And you know, that brings us right into what we wanted to talk about tonight. We actually are now taking your advice, your email, your feedback, you, the listener, the watcher, Tracy, Dover, Delaware.
Dover, Delaware? Is that where Dover chocolates come from?
I don't know. There's
Is there a Dover chocolate?
Wait, where do Dover chocolates come from? Is there a Dover chocolate?
Well,
You just asked me.
I know.
Who's on first?
I know.
Show's over, kids. We're going home. Book an earlier flight.
Oh my gosh.
Oh, no, you can't. You're going to take your life in your hands. We'll have to get a new pilot before you can get out of town here.
I'm so sorry. I really did just get off the plane.
She's loopy. She really is jet lagged. And I put her right to work.
I know. Okay. But I'm ready.
You are ready. I had a great segue and everything, and you just wrecked it.
Dang it. Start again. Pretend like we didn't do anything. Go ahead.
That's okay. 3, 2. No, I was just mentioning how there were no kids kicking my seat, but this week, Tracy from Dover, Delaware, suggested we do a show on how to get along with people you don't like.
Yeah.
I mean, we're not cutting any corners. We're just cutting right to the chase. We're not mincing words. Not difficult people. It's just people you just don't like.
Yeah.
And
you just don't like them.
Now, is there a way to get along with people you don't like?
There are.
I have ways. Some are legal, I think. But, well, Sid, you have the floor. We're going to take advantage of you since you're loopy. You're going to give some great answers. And it's going to be unfiltered, so this is great radio, TV, what have you.
Yeah, and I want them to know that you and I, Ray and I don't sit and discuss these emails before they come in.
No, they're fresh. This way, we're not rehearsing anything. This is not scripted, as you can tell, obviously.
Clearly. And then he just sort of tells me right here, right now, what it is, and we go from there. So, just saying that. Okay, so this is what I would say to that. Full disclosure. So, my daughter has a friend who his parents are not outstanding parents. Okay, now, I don't like to judge, but, I do have some awareness when I'm looking at a good parent, an okay parent, and a real crappy parent.
Right.
Okay? I think he has basically crappy parents. So we were talking about, because I do think that it's really important for him to have a relationship with his parents.
Right.
Even though they may not be great parents. The mother is something else. Just the
and when
things,
you say something else, I mean,
the things I've heard her say to him, the words she's called him, those kind of things. I just can't even imagine.
Now, is it balanced with love? Is it balanced with any nurturing? No, it's just all one-sided.
And her friend, my daughter's friend, he'll say to his mom, I hear it because she's on speaker, right?
Oh, right.
I'll hear him say, Mom, I love you. Never hear, I love you back, that kind of thing.
That's terrible.
So I was talking to him about which parent he felt like he could have a relationship with. And he goes, well, I just don't really like either of them. So this is how we kind of got into this, is that I think it's really important. You and I have both talked about people that we've done business with or that we know that we simply don't like.
Right.
And it's part of life. It's part of being out in the world. And I do believe if you can find a way to put them in their lane, okay? So that means figure out what are they good at, right? Whatever that is, what do they bring to the table? Keep them in their lane. It's sort of like me asking my daughter for $1 million and then being upset that she doesn't give me $1 million. Well, she doesn't own it. People only give what they own, right? So if you can figure out what somebody quote unquote owns, keep them in their lane, make sure that they're doing what they do, and then accept the gift that they give you, whatever that is. Now, I've talked to him about this. They are his parents. That's partly the gift they give, right? The father is a little easier to get along with, and so when the father is on his game, we talked about the things that he brings to the table. So it really is learning to keep someone in their lane, and then when someone gifts you with what they can give you because they own it, then you got to accept it with gratitude and take that gift. Because again, if you look for somebody to give you $1 million and they don't own the $1 million, you're always going to be disappointed. And I think I'm sweating to death, Allison.
Yeah, there's a lot of lights in here. Well, there's no blackout this week. You'll notice that the last 4 shows that we had were dubbed the blackout sessions because we literally did those shows during a power outage in the building. And we had to scrounge for generator power and battery power. Thank God these laptops have batteries that work. And the color was interesting. And you'll notice the backdrop we used from the last couple of intros. You like the decor? Sid just painted it herself.
I did. I just got done. I got off the plane. I painted it. And
don't touch it. But there's a lot of light in here. So we tried to make sure that we overcorrected.
Yeah.
But
So what do you think? How do you get along with someone you don't like? Because that's what this world is made up of.
Well, I'll tell you,
don't like.
That dynamic has changed since the 2nd and 3rd grade for me, where if you didn't like a kid, you could beat him up.
Sure.
And that was acceptable back in 1978 or, whenever.
And you're saying we can't do that any longer.
I certainly can't do that. Yeah.
That's strange.
First of all, I like my chances against the average Joe. And it doesn't matter because if you hit a certain age, it's just not acceptable to hit someone you don't like.
Correct.
I've had an instance where could have been road rage.
Oh.
Somebody cut me off.
Okay.
And no, what happened? Oh, I wasn't going fast enough for somebody. That's what it was.
Oh, maybe I was behind you.
Leadfoot Hall. I gotta watch you in that Jeep.
I know.
No, this guy comes up behind me. Now we're at a traffic light, so there's 2 lanes.
Okay.
And he pulls alongside of me.
Okay.
And, now we're looking at each other. And he must have been 70 years old, and he was gangly.
70?
Yeah, and he was an older guy. And, he already had the tough front. He had already, he was about to confront me no matter what.
Okay.
And then I rolled down the window and smiled at him.
Aww.
And I wasn't some lady, and I wasn't some simp. Right. I wasn't some, little sap. But he tried to keep the, tough exterior going because now he has to keep that momentum.
Yeah.
But his trash talk wasn't making any sense because he didn't want to really upset me and have me come out of the vehicle.
Yeah.
But at first, I asked him what his problem was, and he's like, well, you got to learn how to drive. You weren't driving fast enough. And I tried to explain that I was letting somebody in as a courtesy, and he wasn't hearing it.
Right.
He got me to the point where I thought, you know what? I could take this guy, drag him out of his truck, leave him there for dead. But there's lights on the traffic, or there's cameras on the traffic light. Besides, you just don't want to. You can't do that as an adult.
No, you're going to be a Dateline episode.
Yeah. So I just kind of simmered quickly. I just swallowed. I took a breath, and I said, you know what? I said, God loves you. I said, some of us might think you're a. Can I use? I don't even know the language we're allowed to use on this show.
I don't know.
I don't know where this goes. I basically said,
you're the producer. You could just edit your own.
Exactly. I basically said, some of us might think you're an a-hole, but God loves you.
Right.
I said, have a great day. I winked at him, and I drove off.
Oh, that was nice.
Well, it's a lot better than it could have. Resulted in, God knows, it was just, yeah.
Well, and I think also part of getting along with somebody you just don't like, again, this takes a lot of self-control, but to be able to step back and realize that the individual that's standing in front of you, again, only owns certain things, right? You give what you own. I can't express that enough. So if this person and I have a couple of faces in my head, but if this person only owns negativity or anger or hatred or frustration, whatever those things are the things they're giving to you. And those things that they give to you, is it always a personal attack? Majority of the time, it's not a personal attack.
Right.
It's usually because these people are so miserable in their own life, because we've already had a show about this point of view,
right.
Because their point of view is really soured. It's really based upon all the things they don't want, all the things they're angry about. But if and that's hard to say, but if you can just take a deep breath and really look at the person, and I'm a firm believer in this too. If I ask you, Ray, how to put a filling in my mouth, right? You're not a dentist.
I'm not a dentist. We talked about that on the last episode.
That's
have a
just
dentist on call.
Craziness. So you also have to take into account that you only want to take valued information from the person that really can give you the educated information. If someone's throwing you vomit, I know, oh shoot.
Again with the vomit.
If someone's throwing you stuff that you just don't agree with, well, half of the time, if you look at them, you got to go, well, they don't own anything. They really don't own education. They really don't know what they're giving to me. They don't know what they're pushing out at me. So I'm going to take that as a 0. Right. I'm not going to get angry. I'm just going to take it as a 0 because they really aren't educated in what they're giving me. I'm giving you another example. See, now I'm starting to wake up because now this is what I'm saying.
We hit a nerve, kids.
Is that also and I say this to my girls all the time, when someone gives you information, you must step back and look at who's giving you the information, and are they educated in the area in which they're giving you information. If they're not, you can just take a deep breath, let them say whatever they're going to say, walk away, and chalk it up as a 0. So when someone gives you something, it is not mandatory that you own it. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah. You know what? You bring up a point about point of view, and there was a small part of me that thought maybe this guy had a death wish, and maybe he had a bad day, and maybe he figured, somebody will, pull me out of my truck and just end me.
Right.
Who the hell knows? I mean, why would you do that? And there was he had the. Oh, you know what it was? He basically said, "Are you going to do something about it?" That's what it was. So he basically
so he's
called
taunting
me out.
you.
To see what I might do.
But he was 70-something years old.
Right. Well, you never know. He might have had a gun in his lap.
That's what I'm saying, yeah.
It just looked way too easy. It's like this guy's either a kung fu master or, like I said, he might be crazy. A Bowie knife in his lap, yeah. You just don't know.
That's right. So I was talking to my girlfriend the other day because I think people in general think that if I say something mean to you, Ray, it doesn't mean you have to own it, right?
She's always mean to me.
I am. I'm always saying mean things to him. Okay, but anyway, what I'm saying is that if I give you something, push you something, you get to have control of your life, and you get to determine, do I like that? Does that fit me? Do I want to own it? If you do, you take it. If you go, that's a bunch of crap, that's a total lie about me, then you can go, I just don't own that. I'm not going to accept it. And you don't verbally have to say anything. You just become oil to water. And sorry, I have to cough. No, I don't. Okay.
We have the cough button now.
Okay.
We know how to use it.
Yes. The power behind that is you're in control of your life. You don't own anything you don't choose to own. No one gets to tell you who you are or what you are. And then you then go, well, if that's what they think about me, that's fine, but I'm not owning it. And I'm going to tell you, majority of negative people who are angry and hateful are looking for the low-flying buzzard, right? The person they can push all their crap on and see who will own all their junk for them, so they don't have to do any growing, right?
Well, here's another way to look at this too, because I'm talking about a situation, and I've done this a lot, like walk away from confrontations at a bar, or something is going to get you in a lot of trouble.
Right.
That's easy because it's a one-time thing. You're not going to see this person again, in all likelihood. What about somebody you work with? Somebody,
I know.
Or like I said, this friend's parent. I keep hitting this thing. Somebody you have to deal with on a daily basis. Someone at the grocery store, someone who checks out your groceries, the crossing guard. That person you just know you're going to confront every day. How do I deal with this person again? There's the difference, because now you have to at least manage that skill, some type of diplomacy, and you just have to be able to, how would you do it?
Well, again, I talk about this firm where I used to work, and there were two individuals there that they didn't like me, and I didn't like them. And I told you about the one that I worked for 12 months, and she finally gave me the cake.
The cake, yes.
There was another one, 12 months also. And finally at the 12th month, but what I do, and I go in calculated every morning. I don't just wander into work and hope I can get along with these people. It has to be a deliberate process. So I get up in the morning. I know I have to go handle and deal with these people. So I prepare. I do prepare, like what I'm going to talk to them about. For example, oh my gosh, I love the jeans. There was a day that the second girl I'm talking about was wearing some amazing jeans. I'm like, man, love those jeans. Where did you get them? So she's going to give me a little information. Amazon. Cool. Would you give me, the name? Because I really want to buy some of those jeans. You look fabulous in them. Then I go about my day. But that's a real deliberate thing. So I don't ever, if I have to go do business with someone I don't like, I'm going to be deliberate. I'm going to prepare to handle the day with them. Not just tolerate them, but how am I going to be able to be me and kind of like cushion it a little bit. And that's usually what it is. I'm going to prepare to give them 1+ every day.
The distraction with the compliment works very, very well with guys too, because I've been in situations where I've had to work security at parties, watch the door at certain places. I'm not a big guy, but, I'm nuts enough where
You are.
if push came to shove. No, in all seriousness, you have to learn how to diffuse a situation. And, as you're becoming more aggressive with somebody, obviously, we're men, so we challenge each other. The testosterone takes over, and we just want to one up each other. Nobody wants to walk away looking like a chump.
Right.
So, and we outgrow this for the most part at our age, but not always. And there's liquor involved, and it just gets messy.
It's a disaster.
Right. You're trying to impress a girl. It's just one thing after another. It's just it could get really, really ugly. But I've done this on the subway, where you've had somebody who was maybe a little bit unstable or whatever. You just, hey, I love that shirt. I got the same one at home. Little things that they're not expecting it. Or you play up to their ego, and you just basically
kind of pet the ego.
Yeah,
absolutely.
You basically come into the back door, and they weren't expecting it. I gotta move this thing. I keep hitting this.
Okay,
it's in a different spot.
Who
was the producer of this show?
We are having some problems.
Oh, man.
And I'm sitting here.
I'm not jet lagged. I've been back a week.
I don't know. And I feel like I have to have a little cough, though I don't need to cough. I mean, I'm apologizing. I don't really know what I'm doing.
But just to finish the point, that will definitely, it almost always seems to work where if you do diffuse a situation and you can, there's the cough. See, now any self-respecting show where they let this out, you're keeping it. You're getting it. I couldn't even hit the cough button. You didn't give me any notice.
I didn't know I was going to cough. Okay, I'm sorry. I was so listening to you.
How do you deal with people you don't like? How am I dealing with Sid right now? I've got 10 more minutes with her. How am I going to manage this?
Sit. Okay.
I don't like your cough.
I'm so sorry.
You don't like the way I'm bumping this microphone. We don't like each other. How are we going to deal with each other? This is going to be the longest 9 minutes of your life. 9 and change.
But I am going to agree with you that little bit of sugar for someone you don't like, it adds up to a lot.
Yeah, it diffuses them. It just catches them off guard, and they're like, "Oh." Yeah,
and they may never say thank you. They may do what these other two women would do. They would literally turn around. Yeah. Okay, here's another one. I have 2 neighbors that I have waved to. I don't know how many times.
I have one of those.
And these people just look at me, and then they have that strength to turn their back and walk away. How can you do that when someone's like, hello, waving? So I just keep waving. I am going to just keep waving.
I'm going to break you.
I will break you. You will wave to me. And I just smile, but it's just absolutely, you have to work harder at not smiling, not interacting, and not waving than you do if you just gave me a wave.
Well, some people are just psychologically broken or under repairs, and they just don't feel like engaging in pleasantries because they're not feeling pleasant. Like you said, they're not happy.
Yeah.
So sometimes, you can distract people. You can work your magic that way. But if it's somebody who you would think, oh, I'll just get a wave back, and we can't take that personally, It's not there. It's not your fault.
Right. Well, I am going to say this also. I do believe people are getting ruder. And
my friend says that to me all the time. He's like, people are getting worse. I'm like, no, it's just that. He's like, no, they're getting worse.
I think so. And I think it's from the COVID thing and all this other stuff, because I think what happens is people have been stuck in their own home. They get stuck in their own thoughts. They get stuck in their own problems, and they're no longer working to look outside themselves. They're just looking at me. I mean, I can't tell you how many times people can't even wave to you when you let them in, into traffic. Just the simplest things, or say thank you when I open the door for you. That kind of thing. I don't know where I came from that. Anyway, it's just about people that you just are like, hey, I don't like you. But I think the strongest thing a person can do is if you can take a deep breath and really just step back and look at the person who's delivering the crap to you and go, they don't own anything else. You say it in your own head.
Right.
I kind of have pity for them.
Well, they've gotten more brazen in a lot of ways because everybody's been dealing with each other online, and it's a lot easier to be brave online.
Yes, and rude and crude and all of those things.
And absolutely merciless in some cases. I mean, cyberbullying has become the big thing over the last 10, 20 years.
Yeah.
And, they always talk about internet courage.
Yeah.
It's kind of like liquid courage when you drink too much.
Yeah.
It's not really, you wouldn't do that to somebody in person. You would never go nose to nose with somebody and scream racist or homophobe or whatever it is. Yeah. And you get knocked out and you deserve it. I mean,
yeah,
you're not supposed to do that. But if somebody cold cocks you, after being spun around and basically verbally assaulted, you can't do that. It's just, I don't know. I mean, I liked it better when we wrote letters and we called people on the phone and we went out for drinks together. Yeah. And we still do that, but there needs to be more of that.
Yeah,
I think you're right. People, and a lot of people have been, keeping themselves prisoner in their own home way before any of this, whatever stuff was going on last year or two. It's been 5-10 years with Xbox and everything else. I don't see kids on the street playing stickball anymore. I don't see kids. I barely see them on the soccer field.
I know.
At parks. But I mean, every block, you would have kids playing wiffle ball in the street hockey, tag, just anything. You just don't see it like you did.
You know.
And people say, well, I don't want my kids getting abducted. Listen, you and I grew up in the 70s and 80s.
I'm going to abduct you.
Exactly. If we got abducted when we were kids, we were gone. Now the kids have cell phones in their pockets.
Yeah.
So, listen, the human tracking devices.
Yeah.
And nobody was going to kidnap me because my mom always said, I would wait, and then the ransom to take you back would just absolutely break them, monetarily and spiritually. So I wasn't worried.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
That's crazy. Yeah.
Were you a good kid growing up?
Me?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You were, you had to be. Dad wouldn't, he wouldn't see to it, no.
No. And, you know, as children, you test your parents.
Of course.
I just had to test once.
That's all it took.
And he never hit any of us, but he'd give you that look.
Oh, I got hit. My mom and dad both beat me. Like, not terribly, but
well,
I mean.
that answers a lot of things.
Yeah. It kept me in line. Honestly, you know, I don't think spanking is the answer to everything, but I mean, kids have gotten out of control these days.
Yeah.
In a lot of ways, in a lot of cases. So, you know, who am I? I'm one parent. Yeah. I've never had to really spank my daughter. I got lucky. But if I had me as a son, you know.
Things could be different.
Yeah, talk to me then.
Yeah.
But it did keep me out of prison, and it gave me a healthy respect for authority and for consequence.
Yeah.
So there's something to be said for hard discipline.
Well, yeah.
Nowadays, you want to punish a kid, take away their phone, just turn off the service. That's better than any spanking you can give them.
Yeah. It's true.
That's how you deal with kids you don't like. I'm just kidding. But no, I think overall, I think you're right. Kill them with kindness when you can.
That's correct.
If you can't do that, disengage. Keep your distance.
And be aware of who you're dealing with.
Right. When you do have to deal with somebody, try to keep it as pleasant as possible, as professional as possible. If it's at your job, you're there for a reason. You're not there to make friends. You're there basically to do your job.
Yeah.
You don't have to be friends with the whole world or be the most popular person at the table at lunchtime.
And you don't have to go do things with them after work.
Right.
None of that. Just, do your gig. Give a plus. Just give 1 plus a day and move on. And
it is hard. So when you put in that situation real time, it's hard because we have egos and we have feelings. And, we don't want to be put upon in ways where people are making you feel like, I'm trying with this person and why are you being such a jerk? And I think most of the time it is them. They're just having a bad day, bad month, bad year, bad marriage.
Life.
Yeah, exactly. My life is just terrible right now.
Yeah.
And they project it. They want everyone to be miserable.
That is true. Because you give what you own. I can't say it enough.
You do say that.
Give what you own.
Any last thoughts? We got about 2 minutes here.
I apologize. I feel like I have to cough. I haven't felt like I had to cough.
Turn around. I'll hit the cough button.
Okay, ready?
I'm ready. I got it.
Did you?
I did.
Okay.
See? We work together. I like Sid again. Do you like me?
Yes, but the cough didn't relieve anything. I still feel it. It's very odd.
Well, we're almost done. I'll get you a cup of tea after this.
Okay. And a break?
And a break. I'll even give you a break.
I love to have a break.
See? I like you again.
I love having breaks. Yeah, I feel bad. I feel like I didn't bring as much magic to this discussion as
I think
often as I bring the magic.
The magic, you know what they say about showing up is more than half, right?
I have no idea what that means.
No?
No.
We'll have to look it up together.
I don't know what that means at all.
Do you think Sid did a good job? I do.
That's so sweet.
I was sitting here bumping my mic and you were coughing and, we get them entertained anyway.
But truth be told, for the rest of our lives, we're all going to run into people we don't like and people who don't like us. Right. It's as simple as that. We all don't need to be friends, but if we can be cordial, be cordial. Right. Be polite. I think that you just disengage, like you said, to people that are not like gelling with you. You don't have to buddy up to them. You can disengage, but if you do get a moment to give one little plus, there's nothing wrong with giving a plus to someone, right?
Right.
And especially someone who is unhappy. Certainly they probably don't hear a plus very often. So getting that little bit of sugar once in a while, nothing's wrong with that. And I think part of getting along with people you don't like is just understanding my dad would say this all the time, DJ, you don't want everyone liking you.
That's true. And, it took me a very, very long time, probably well into my 30s, I'm ashamed to say, to realize you don't have to be a people pleaser. And it really would wreck my day if, somebody was angry with me or upset with me. And now I just realize, hey, you know what? You can be upset. A couple days from now, you won't be upset. You'll be fine.
Right.
It's one thing you just kind of grow into. You get more comfortable in your own skin,
Yeah.
One day you'll be 40, right?
Yeah. One of these days. One of these days. And
they have short memories. They don't remember.
No, they don't remember. And I've learned some things, though, that you've taught me. And I can't say them here, but there's just certain words that you can just say and certain phrases that you say.
Now they know.
Yeah. And you just all of a sudden feel better. But you don't have to say it to a person. You could just say it to your own self. And done. I feel so much better.
Exactly.
See?
Well, believe it or not, this 30 minutes is up.
Oh, gosh, I'm so sorry. I'm going to bring the magic, though, next time. And I'm going to have a lozenge or something so that maybe I think I don't have to cough. Because what am I coughing for?
I don't know. It could be the change of the atmosphere, too. You were high altitude and now you're in New York. And
gosh, and the way we landed, it was like this freaking pilot, first time flying. It's like we just fell out of the sky. And I let out a yelp.
Sure
that sounded like a little piglet. I let out a yelp. And then I had to put my hand on my head. I'm like, oh, jeez. It was terrible. Anyway.
With that, that's I guess as good a way to end this as Annie. I wouldn't call this lackluster. I would call this just different.
And I was just noticing, as if I'm not, I think I was slouching a little.
I'm sitting back. I've got my legs into the table. I'm just kind of sitting like a lowrider.
Oh, gosh. I was almost looking at you through this thing.
That's not what that's for.
I was slouching.
That's okay.
We should, what is it called? Chime off?
Yeah, we should cut our losses, right? Pull the plug, shoot the dog, show the crowd some mercy here.
Shoot the dog?
It's from Old Yeller. It's not, I don't mean a healthy dog. I mean, a dog who's sick. Put him out of its misery. We'll put the show out of its misery.
Okay, thank you.
I think they had a good time. And if not, write in. And of course, who gets the bad news. Right, of course.
Okay.
But hey, listen, I had a great time with you. I always do.
Me too.
And we helped somebody today.
Did we?
Tracy in Dover, Delaware, you let us know if we answered your question.
Okay, fair enough.
Kids, I hope you come back next week. Always remember, dare to be better.
With Ray and Sid.
We'll see you soon.
Bye.
Hey, thanks for checking us out. If you enjoyed the show, like the video, subscribe to this channel, and please tell your friends. We'd also love it if you headed over to daretobebettershow.com for tons of cool photos, extras, and a chance to shop for some sweet show swag. Say that 5 times fast. I can barely say it once. If you keep coming, we'll keep delivering. Thanks again.